Well, hi everyone. Welcome. Hi there. We're just having some fun technical stuff today. So if you can hear me or see me, pop a little emoji in the comments, please. Then I'll know. Let's see. I'm going to bring you back, Ingrid. You guys haven't commented, so that makes me. Ingrid, are you there?
Yes.
Oh. Okay,
Can you
good.
hear me?
Hopefully my
It's just a really
video's not
bad
bad.
connection, Julie. It's really pixelated.
You were just frozen for a second. Can you see me? Can you hear me? Sorry,
I can
guys.
hear you, yeah.
How about now?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
We're going to do this, Ingrid. This is like the core of this whole conversation about expansion in midlife, going with what, feels right, try new things. So
yeah,
we're going to create a high vibration, which is just going to make the Wi-Fi go nuts. So how are you, friend?
I am doing really well. Really happy to be here, and hopefully our connection is good quality enough so that, yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So if anyone wants to drop an emoji in the comments, then we'll know if things get too wobbly for us. But we are talking today to my, I will say, new dear friend, Ingrid Rodgers. And Ingrid and I met over Instagram, and she, first of all, she did a lovely thing. She posted a video about mental bars that she liked them, and I love that. But I actually loved her spirit even more than that, her personality, her just way of being, and she's so stunning and just really personified a midlife woman to me who's out there, living her best new version of herself. And so as I got to know Ingrid, I wanted to invite her on the show because I know many women who watch and listen are experiencing transitions and working on struggling with mindset and courage of who they want to be in midlife. And you've really just tackled that head on. So why don't you tell us a little bit about your career as an actress and all that, and then transitioning to something new?
Okay, well, thank you so much, Julie. And, I think the feeling was mutual between us because I actually found you, I think it was through Katie, is it Fogarty? Is that her last name?
Katie Fogarty, A
Yeah.
Certain Age podcast, which
Yes.
I love and love. Yes.
Yes. And she is amazing. And I love her as just a resource for all things midlife. So I think I found her through you, and then I tried your bars, and I legitimately loved your bars. And then your spirit, and I was like, this woman is, and personifying midlife and doing awesome things. So my story is, yes, I started off as an actress. I was an actress for probably over 25 years, maybe close to 30. I started in my 20s in New York City and had a very, a very successful career as an artist, which I'm super pleased about because, you know, it's not an easy business to break into and to
No.
maintain for decades. That's one thing I'm super proud of. My husband and I are both creatives and have done that for a long time. And then, you
Is
know,
it
I'm
okay?
now,
Can I say that you're on All My Children, which literally, I'm sure in my lifetime have consumed hundreds of episodes of All My Children.
yeah, I started on All My Children. That was my first gig as an actress. And
I love it.
yeah, it was like getting onto a speeding train and going forth. But it was a wonderful, wonderful experience. And then I ended my career on an Amazon show called Bosch with Titus Welliver
Mm.
and Jamie Hector.
Yeah.
And oh, I see some friends joining. Yay. Um, so I, you know, about three in 2021, I was just sort of reevaluating life, as I guess so many of us were doing, you know, mid-pandemic. And I just was like, I'm not totally fulfilled in life. I'm so happy
Mm.
that I got to sort of live my dream as an actress, but it wasn't completely fulfilling for me.
Mm.
And, you know, long story short on that, what I realized was that I wasn't really aligned with my purpose fully. And I was
Yeah.
able to then make many major shifts. So I retired from acting. I stepped behind the camera to work with my husband as a producer because I realized that what I really loved about this industry was not being a performer, but being a storyteller. And
Uh,
so that was a major shift. And then I reevaluated all of life, really. And I was like, okay, I'm not going to be in front of the camera. I can lock my hair. I can embrace and welcome my gray hair, which was enormously liberating for me. It was
right? So much
so,
freedom after. But okay, let me just pause you in that spot
yeah,
because there's a lot of identity wrapped up into the things that you're talking about. I am an actress, you know, I don't have gray hair. So even let's just start with, you know, releasing the identity of being an actress because many of us, you know, in our late 40s, 50s, 60s have been a thing, a title, a career for a long time. And our identity is very much wrapped into that. So, and it can be very difficult. Who am I without that? You know, as we are in midlife and making this transition. So, how did you wrestle with the idea that I am not an actress anymore, or I was an actress, or tell us how you manage that because women, people get stuck on that, and that makes it really difficult.
absolutely. And it actually, I get emotional just you asking me that question because it was a difficult decision and I had to really wrestle with it. I was so wrapped up in that identity because it had been an ambition when I was in my early 20s and I achieved that goal at a certain level. So it was really hard to, because without that, what was I? And the
Right.
major thing that I took away from that was that without that, I'm actually a whole person. We're not just, you know, our careers and we're not just wives or daughters or whatever the title is, friend, whatever
Right.
it is in life. I realized, oh, I started to discover myself as a whole being.
Right.
And that was so liberating at this time of life, you know, that,
Yeah.
oh, life. And one of the major sort of turning points for me is I don't want to just exist. I want to really live. I
Mm,
want to live with
mm,
passion and enthusiasm. And that we weren't at, you know, this was, I was in my early 50s. I wasn't sort of, life wasn't going to start dwindling away and I wasn't going to start receding into the woodwork, even with this major decision in life. You know, I was literally like stepping out of the spotlight,
Right.
but the spotlight comes from within, truly.
Mm.
And
That's where the real spotlight is,
yeah,
right? When we can really connect with that and believe it, right? Because there's that piece like, okay, I'm saying the words, but I really don't believe it, you know. When we can really
yes,
accept and believe that, then we feel that radiance from the inside out, that spotlight that you're talking about, and it shows. It shows.
absolutely. And thank you. And yeah, it was wonderfully liberating. I was like, wow, the best is yet to come and life is truly ahead of me. What do I want to make now? If not now, when? Right? Because I definitely have more runway behind me, you know, most. So that was really,
You
you know,
have a
a
long way to go.
shift in mindset. Yeah. Exactly. There's so much more to go. And that's what I admire about, you know, women like you and so many other women that I'm communing with on Instagram is that they're starting businesses. They're, you know, they're transforming their lives in really wonderful ways and unexpected ways and really diving in and creating what they want in life. And it doesn't have to be a huge thing. I mean, I follow some women on Instagram who are, they do it all within the confines of their home, more or less. But it's their mindset that has shifted. And
Right.
so that was a huge thing for me, a shift of mindset. That was number one.
I love that.
Yeah.
And how did you get, I know I asked you to, to bring some tips too, so you can help women. How did you get the courage to lean into the mindset? What came first for you, mindset or courage? Because there's sort of that courage comes from just doing it anyway. You can't really buy it or anything, but
Yeah.
how did courage and making that mindset shift work for you?
Well, that's a great question. And as I'm thinking about it, they were maybe in tandem because, you know, I was frustrated and knew that there was more I wanted to experience in life. And then it's sort of like the courage to make the decision and then to put some
Right.
things into action, right?
Right.
So I made the decision I was going to retire. I did the actions of locking my hair and really embracing my gray. And then we also made a major decision to move out of Los Angeles. We live in an area about an hour and a half north of Los Angeles, which is something we always wanted to do, and started to kind of cultivate a life outside of a big city, which I never thought I would do. So it was courage and mindset together, and then taking some step in order to do that. At that time, I also was like, okay, I did reach out for some help. There is, many different resources, but I found a great gentleman and also a wonderful lady I worked with to sort of help me refocus. Like, where was I going now? What did I sort of get me on track of what that purpose was? I hadn't really looked at things that, like, what are my talents and abilities?
Yeah.
Outside of being an actress, what could I do? And what came out of that was a love for like creating a home and interior design. And so having someone sort of help focus those ideas and possibilities was really crucial and beneficial to me. And so from that, so courage, mindset, and then purpose. And when I got that my purpose is, I love to inspire people. I love to create beauty in life. Then I was like, oh, now like how can I do that? How can I do that in big and small ways? And I think so many of us, we get on the treadmill of life and we never stop or pause to go, am I really living the life that I want? Is it a purposeful life? We just don't,
Yeah.
things, life goes and goes and we're going with it. And so when I finally was like, pause, we're at the midpoint now. And
Yeah.
it was really wonderful to align with that sense of purpose in life
Mm.
and to really inspire people, not
Right.
because it's fulfilling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I think that's the opportunity of midlife, and menopause. It gives us menopause calls us back to our own body. And it doesn't let you ignore it anymore. It's like, hello, I'm hot, I'm cranky, I can't sleep, please pay attention to me. You were doing all those other things, paying attention to other people, your bank account, whatever, I don't care.
Yes.
Me.
That is so true.
And
Exactly.
it's a beautiful gift, right, to
It
get
really
called
is.
back to yourself.
Yeah.
Mm,
I
yeah.
mean, let's not deny super challenging in terms of
Yeah.
the body stuff, but
Yes.
it's literally like life going, whoa, pause, pay attention to me
Right.
physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all the components. Pay attention to me now, and let's not deteriorate. Let's really let's revamp this and then let's go sky high. That's
Yeah.
literally
That's
how
not good,
it
because
is.
we're bringing all those years of wisdom to the new party, so you don't start from zero, you start from 100 and then you go to 1,000, which I think is really the most exciting piece of making a pivot or a life transition or career transition, is that you get to bring along all those years of experience and lessons learned and apply it in a new way, which is so exciting to me.
Absolutely. We have a young friend of ours. He's turning 30 tomorrow, and he's like, oh, it's daunting. And I'm like, oh man. And that, I feel like the younger generation, they have this like, oh my God, I've got to achieve it now, this instant
Yeah.
gratification. And I said, I'm like, the best is yet to come. Like,
Right.
really
Right. Right.
lean into that. And,
Yeah.
the thing that came out of this also for me was staying curious, willing to
Mm,
learn. Because I was like that too in my 20s and 30s. It was like,
right.
I have to be perfect. I have to do it. I have to get it now. Right. And what, experience and wisdom has taught me is no, it's okay. Just stop, breathe, you know, just stay curious and engaged in life and willing to learn. I had this when I was on All My Children. I just, I wish I'd had the wherewithal to just go, I don't know what I'm really doing here. I'm 20, I'm 24, 25 years old. I had come out of a conservatory, an acting conservatory, 2 months before,
Mm,
but we didn't learn there's a whole nomenclature, as with anything. There's a nomenclature and there's terminology that I didn't know. But I was so afraid, like I had to put on this front of,
yeah.
no, I know this. I got this.
Right. All the acronyms that people are tossing around, you have no idea what they're talking
I
about.
had no clue.
Yeah.
And I wish I'd had the courage then to just be like, I don't know. But I'm
Yeah.
totally willing to learn, whereas now, as I'm foraying into producing at this level, there's a lot I don't know. And I'm willing to say that at 56, I don't know, but I'm
Yeah.
totally willing to learn,
Right. Right.
and that has been a wonderful shift for
Yeah.
me also.
The confidence to do that, and know that it's not a reflection on your ability. It's just that it's something same. I mean, I went from business world and then coaching on the business side to food, like so
Yeah.
completely different.
That's a major
Everything,
learning curve. Yeah.
huge, huge. But to me, that's part of the excitement about making a pivot in midlife, is that you get to learn so many new things. And I always say, I may not know, but I'm going to figure it out, right? I believe that all things are figure outable and solvable. So,
Yeah.
it's bringing that courage that you were talking about, that you build from so many years of experience, that we can step into being courageous and head down till you figure it out, and
Yes.
ask people. Ask. We can take a shortcut, right? We don't actually have to figure everything out ourselves either.
That's right. Absolutely, we don't. Because to me, it's like, okay, why? Like, what a shame to go through all of life and not, because we're afraid or because we don't know, not be willing to sort of step into something that interests us or something that we're curious about, or
Right.
and I sadly know people and women like that who have gone through life sort of, for whatever the reasons are, just not maybe taking the time to believe in themselves and their own worth. And I understand it, but I also was like, I didn't want to look back at my life and think, oh, I wish I had at the end of it.
I love that.
Yeah.
That's important, because we are at the age and stage that we don't want to look back and have any regrets about anything. So, and the good thing is we still have energy, we can still do all the things that we want to do.
Yeah.
There's nothing we can't do. And I do want to talk about the physical transformation besides hair. And I think most women do something with their hair when they make a big change. I've chopped my hair off super short, when I decided I was going to run a marathon, didn't want to deal with hair. Then I let my hair go gray and I just let it grow long, like we do these different things because hair's identity in so many ways, right? But let's just
But your
talk
hair,
about.
by the way, looks beautiful. I love the length. I love the color. Yeah, it's great.
Thank you. I would say I have to credit my dad. Both my parents have beautiful salt and pepper hair, but my dad has like this white. I hope I get turned white at some point. Not quite yet, but he's like white hair, But information that you're working on. Was that right, or did I mix that up? Oops, I lost you for a second.
Sorry,
There you are.
you froze there for a second.
Sorry,
yeah. What were you asking?
About that. I was talking about, you posted a picture on Instagram a little bit ago, and I should have gone back to look at it, about a physical transformation that you're working on.
Yes.
Let's talk about that, because I remember thinking, yes, sis, yes. That was so cool. So why don't you share?
So it's been a journey, because it's not that I wasn't listening to my body. I've always been in tune. It's just that I was uninformed, and the changes were so rapid and so severe that I was just like, what is happening? And this probably started in my mid to late 40s. I literally got like frozen shoulder. At that point, no one was talking about it being related to, low estrogen. Yeah, no one was talking about that. So I had that. There's a litany of things that my body went through that I'm still dealing with to this day. But in January of this year, I was like, okay, I really need to address. I was getting sick last year a lot, which I've been sick like maybe 5 or 6 times within a 2-year period, which for me was a lot because I'd gone, most of my adult life without being sick. And so I decided, again, it comes with a decision, right? And the courage to face it and to shift. That's it. If I have this like desire to live a, purposeful and God willing long life still, I need my body to be able to support me in that.
That's right.
So the shift also for me was, let's approach it from a health point of view, not from just the aesthetic and vanity point of view, right? Which is what I
Because that comes when you do the health thing, that's the outcome. We're so
exactly
used to everything up to 50 kind of doing in the opposite direction.
totally.
Yeah.
And what I had to, and that I'm still, adjusting to is that, okay, this is not going to be a 90-day transformation. You look, snatched and let's move on.
Yeah.
No, this
Yeah.
has been a slow but meaningful process, one that I
Mm-hmm.
really believe I will be able to take into, the decades to come. So I'm,
Beautiful.
let's see, I started mid-January, so February, March, April. I'm almost 4 months now into it. And it's, multi-pronged in that it's dealing with not only my hormones, I'm now on hormone replacement therapy. It's nutrition, it is exercise, really putting in weights, walking, and primo for me right now is self-care.
Mm,
So again,
beautiful.
that is something I wish that I had learned about in my 20s is self-care, like how important that is. And I get it. We're going fast and we want a lot in our 20s. But to just take 10 minutes out of the day and breathe or put my feet up on the wall or get 10 minutes of sunshine has been
Mm,
truly life-changing.
yes.
And let me also say that this has not been like a linear journey. It's not like up, 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 up. This last month was actually really challenging because the hormone replacement therapy shifted and my hormones shifted. I was having some digestive issues. So we had to cut back the hormones, the amount of estradiol I was on, which then
Mhm.
triggered me into, you know, menstruating again,
I was
which
going to
was
say,
shocking.
here it comes, right? Yes, I know. And I think I'm so glad you shared that. It's shocking for a lot of women that all of a sudden they have their periods again. Like, what? Are you kidding me? Even I, same thing even with estradiol cream,
Yeah.
I didn't get periods, but I started having cramps in my ovaries. Like, what the heck?
Yeah.
It's kind of scary at first.
Yeah.
And then you realize your body's just, it's like it's waking up again, but not always in a way
Yeah.
you think.
Yeah. That it was shocking to me. It was like, in some ways, because my breasts started, swelling, and it was like I remember being whatever it was, 13 to 16
Right.
in there and going through puberty. I was
Right.
like, okay, what is happening here?
It's
So,
like I want to feel better, but I don't want to go to that.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. I'm not aiming for youth. I'm aiming for health, right? So
Mm-hmm,
what I
mm-hmm.
had to again, understand was that this is a process. It's a process of trial and error. And as long as I'm maintaining the health of my body, that's most important. So in
Yeah.
terms of like the physical transformation, I literally this morning took the pictures for the past month. And I was like, oh, not a lot of change, but what I'm gonna like focus on and lean into is that I've been consistent. I've been consistent with the workouts, consistency of my routine, my nighttime routine. They call it. I'm working with a program now because I needed that support.
Some
So I've committed to
structure and
yes.
support. Yeah.
And the knowledge, because what I found is that in just having a doctor, doctors are busy. They don't have the time to have that real one-on-one, in-depth, um,
Right.
conversation that oftentimes needs to happen. And so
Right.
now I have a coach that I check in with weekly,
Right.
and I can really tell her like because the changes are happening quickly. And so
Yeah.
that's been very helpful. But to stay consistent with, my nighttime routine, my eating, but getting to the gym, getting my walks in, it's my self-care. It's all been a wonderful gift. I'm so happy that I'm able to give this to myself. And I'm happy that I'm inspiring, friends or other women that I know, like,
Right.
just get informed. Just let's start getting informed. Let's start dialoguing about it.
Yeah.
My friend started a group on Instagram, like a private message group, so we can support each other through the journey of it. And I think as women, we need that. We need that sense of community.
Yeah.
We need that sense of community. That's also sort of one of my midlife changes, is like really embracing community now,
Mm. Yeah.
because and not, yeah, like the physical community, we volunteer. We moved, as I said, an hour and a half outside of the city, so we're meeting new people, lots of new people in our 50s.
Yeah.
And
Which isn't that great? I know I was saying to someone, I probably have 100, probably more new friends from Instagram in this conversation that I'm in community
yeah,
with. I mean, really real people that I speak to, meet up with,
yeah,
all of that. You and I are going to meet
yeah,
soon. We have bars in a stored right in your neighborhood.
yeah.
So
And I love when
it's so
I
rich.
walk in and I see someone like at the checkout, and I'm like, oh, that's my friend's bars. You have to try them. They're amazing. Manuel bars, they're so good. Yeah.
I know. I appreciate the picture. Super cute.
Yeah.
Thank you, health coach Angela. She likes the bars too. And so, but I love. You're doing all the beautiful things for yourself.
Yeah.
You're paying attention. Well, first of all, you got a coach to help you. And that having formerly been a business coach, sometimes you just need someone to help you with structure, little shortcuts here or there, to get to your goals a little bit faster. And then just to have a conversation, be accountable in a positive way with you.
Yes.
And so that's super cool. So you got support there. You're
Yes.
doing your nutrition, you're exercising, you're using weights, you're sleeping well, and you're being open to your experience with hormone therapy, knowing that an adjustment. You just have to work with it.
Yeah.
And just that commitment, that's so beautiful. Check, 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 check all the boxes, Ingrid. And
Yeah.
starting and being in your company, as a producer now, from the in
Yeah.
front of the camera to the back of the camera with your husband. So cool. So
Yeah.
cool.
Yeah. It's really, that to me is living. I feel like I'm alive much more than I was a few years ago. I had a lovely
Yeah.
life, no complaints, but now feel like I'm shifting from existing to living,
Yeah.
which is, that's so cool that at 56 now, I feel more fired up
Yeah.
and engaged than I did, at 36. So
Yes.
that's what, the biggest takeaway. I would also add to this conversation that, part of the shift was also really being in gratitude.
Mm, every day.
Yeah.
Starting with that.
Yes, that was a real, and being authentic and real about it, that I can share openly with you, all the crap that's going on in the body and whatnot. I'm not ashamed of it. I don't want to hide it, because I want other people, other women to know and to be relatable about this. I am no authority on this area, in life, but
You're an authority on your own life, though, and as a midlife woman.
that's right. Exactly. And that's
Yeah.
what I offer, in the hopes that it is, you know, other women can relate to that, because I had no idea of this. This wasn't a conversation that our mothers or grandmothers were having. And we didn't
Yeah.
have platforms like Instagram that we could, share about this. So I'm super grateful for that, what I've learned from other women, what I can impart, and
Yeah.
just, to understand. And what I encourage is, be grateful just for the simplest things in life. Waking
Mm,
up and seeing the sunshine, and our roses are in bloom now, and I cut some roses, and to smell that is like, it literally sends me into a, like, being so present in the moment that I'm like, oh, this is absolutely incredible. So those small joys of life have become my sustenance now. I'm not so much aiming for, what I was aiming for in my 20s necessarily. It's the focus again has shifted to the simpler things are much more meaningful to me, right?
That's an important word. And it's all important, right? What's important to us in our 20s, 30s, 40s, it's all important at that time.
Yeah.
And so we get to bring that into our 50s and beyond and create whatever is next. So I love that you use the word meaning, because we actually have time to create meaning. A dear friend of mine, Canna Canning, is very focused on meaning, to the point where her family's like, oh, why does everything have to be so meaningful? Because she said, because it is,
Yeah.
and I love that.
Because,
It's a gift.
think about it. Like, I heard this recently. It's like, how many more summers do we have here on this earth? Like, when I
don't like
thought about
thinking about that. I know.
yeah, it was like, oh, okay.
Right.
I don't fear that. God willing, I have many, many more. Like, let's say I have 40 more summers here. That'd be amazing. But I want those to be the most fulfilling, satisfying, enriching, awesome summers that I can possibly have.
And
So
vital, vital.
vital,
Not in a
exactly.
chair.
Yeah.
Not in a chair summers, in a bikini with all the jiggly parts if you need to, summers.
Exactly. That's living. That is living. When my stepmother turned 50, I just remember sort of the messaging I got was, oh, the aches and pains and sort of the life is gonna get,
Right.
it's not as good anymore.
Right.
And not negating the aches and pains, that is real, but again, it's mindset, it's just a viewpoint of, there is still so much living to be had. And I really want to emphasize that for women and men too, that we've had this messaging it's not true. It's just not true.
We get
So
to choose. We get to choose what we believe and who we want to be. And you know
that's
what? And we don't really care what other people think, which makes it even better. So
exactly. And that was probably true. We've always had a choice. But if you've gone up to the mid 50s and not chosen to live your life how you wanted to, like, now is the time. We have the opportunity to do it. So, medicine is advancing so much. The hormone therapy that we have now is different than they had 20 years ago. So, it affords us a lot more vital living for sure. For sure.
absolutely. Absolutely. It's an exciting time. That's what I would say, so buckle up. I say, buckle up, buttercup, here we go. Okay. There's somebody here that says she is an amazing partner. Do you know who that person is?
Who's an amazing partner?
Sure. It's your cute guy, I'm pretty sure. MUNICPTP.
That's my husband. Yeah. And listen, I was
hoping it was. Because sometimes we get, some other randoms on this show.
No. He's legit. And I want to just give a shout out to the amazing partners who support us. Look, men go through their own changes in midlife, but he has been wonderful. It's been sometimes savage what has been going on, with the body. And he's endured a lot and stood by me the whole way and supported me through that. So shout out to all the men who understand and support and, lift us up through this time for sure.
I love it. Yeah. I just had my 33rd wedding anniversary 2 days ago.
Oh, so congratulations. Did you
do
something lovely?
We're doing something lovely. That's what I'll, part of this road trip, doing the business thing, but then heading off for a few days at the lake so we can just have some time to be together without all the happening all the time. So
Beautiful.
our kids are all grown up, but I've introduced all this new stuff to our life. So.
Yeah, exactly. He was like, wait, I thought we were like chilling, we could go vibe and do whatever you want. And you're like, well, we kind of can.
Well, yeah, and you're going to be driving me a lot of places. I can drive myself, but just come with, and then you can schlep all the stuff, and I don't have to schlep it all by myself. Although I have to say, I love schlepping boxes because it's like my weight training, it's just another way of working out while I'm carrying around cases of Metal bars everywhere.
Absolutely. It's so great. I ran into our yoga teacher who is probably well into her 70s, but just a little powerhouse. And we were at the grocery store and she had these big water jugs. And I was like, oh, can I help you? She's like, no, because that's her lifting. She wants to do that,
Yes.
I applaud that.
I love it.
I want to be well into my 70s lifting whatever I need to lift. And I want to be that strong. So
my litmus test is lifting my heavy overhead, going on a flight up over my head, just throw that in there, not the or somebody saying, can I help you? I'm like, hell no, I got this, I mean, thanks, but I got it.
Yeah, exactly. I got it.
I love it. Well, I know I asked you to bring some tips. I feel like we've woven them in here, but is there anything that we missed that you wanted to share? You've just been so inspiring, and I know women are going to get a lot out of this conversation.
Well, thank you. I think we got most of them in. Maybe let's just end on that note of authenticity, whatever that means to us as individuals. I really love leading my life in that way now. I think for me, maybe it's particularly important because I was an actress for a long time where you're sort of putting on other personalities or whatever for the role, right?
Yeah.
And so for me to be able to just be who I am now, is really wonderful. And I think, again, it aligns with us at this time of life that if not now, then if we can't be who we really are at 55, 56, whatever the number is, then when? So I am just thrilled to live authentically and to be around other women who are living authentically. And I think we're badass at this age.
Badass. Well, to me, everything you just said is a definition of well, right? That is exactly what we're all about because of women like you, and that we want to live through these years of our lives of menopause, because we are postmenopausal forever. So we are always menopausal, but we want to be well in our menopause journey for the rest of our lives. So everything you've described of all that self-care, intentional self-care, from mindset, courage, being curious to transition into something new, being physical, all of that is so beautiful. So thank you for sharing your story. Really appreciate it.
Thank you so much, Julie. Thank you for having me. Thank you for having this platform and just being an inspiring woman. So thank you.
It takes one to know one. That's what I say. And I cannot wait to hug you IRL coming up here soon this summer. You're going to make that happen, right?
Absolutely. Okay. I look forward to it. Thanks, everyone.
Okay. Thank you so much
for joining. My pleasure.
So fun. So fun. Be well, everyone. Till next time. Take care. Thank you, Ingrid. Bye.